When you come to see the Teddy Bear Museum collection here at Polka, you go to two different worlds, and both of them owe a great deal to the glory that is Gleeds. What we've done is, in a minute we're going to take you downstairs to see our Hall of Fame, the crown jewels. But here we have created a fairy tale kingdom, a kind of little town where the teddy bears all live. And, well, let me just take you into it. What Alex Bunn, the designer, and we tried to do was actually create an exhibition here that works at 2 or 3 levels. That works at the level, if you are a little person, it's an adventure to come here. So if you picture yourself suddenly shrunken in size, it becomes a really quite exciting kingdom. I won't necessarily get you to do this, but it is quite worthwhile almost getting down, and then you suddenly see, oh, actually, a different perspective. And it suddenly you've got almost like skyscrapers. You are in the village street here, you're in the village square, and you look up. And what I find attractive about the whole building is that it's a little bit like an Elizabethan town square with an Elizabethan theatre. Let me just take you around. So the idea for the point is for little children, these little steps are there, they can go in here, they swing, they pop out there, they can appear with glove puppets. It's a fun thing. They walk under here and they see the bears. So at one level, if you're a 2-year-old or 3-year-old or 4, it's just fun to be here. And also, you can go in there and you can touch. You can say hello. You can, as it were, have an experience that is tactile and fun. You can interrelate with the bears. At the same time, if you are an older person and seriously interested in the history of the teddy bear, you then begin to explore. And there is, one of the joys of this place is that it is an exploring place. You arrive, the doors are closed, but if you are a little, a child who can reach this, you pull open the door. What this also tells you, in a sense, if you want to know it, is the history of the teddy bear. The teddy bear named after Teddy Roosevelt, the President of the United States. You know the story of the origin of the teddy bear, do you? Go on. November 1902, President Teddy Roosevelt is out on a hunting expedition in Smedes County, Mississippi. His advisors say, you haven't caught any bears, you haven't bagged a bear today. We're on a bear hunt, you've got to find a bear to shoot. And there are no wild bears to be found, but they eventually find a little bear cub. They tie it to a tree, and they say, Mr. President, here's a bear for you to shoot. And the President of the United States says, spare the bear. I will not shoot a tethered animal. That's right. Release the bear. And the bear is released. And a cartoon of this appears a few days later in a Washington newspaper, and a New York shopkeeper called Morris Mictum writes to the White House and says, I would like to make a little bear cub as a toy and be allowed to call it Teddy's Bear. Teddy's Bear was born in 1902. Come down here and we come to some British bears. This one, as you can see in the corner, given to the collection by Tony Blair Bear. Tony Blair Bear. No, Tony Bear Blair. Anyway, it's actually called Linton because Tony Blair's middle name is Tony Anthony Charles Linton Blair. And that's his teddy bear there. That's a teddy bear in the middle given to the collection by the President of the French Republic. That teddy bear was given to the collection by the Duke of Edinburgh. And that one was given by Prince William. So, the great and the good. But this is rather a touching lineup. You will recall in 1997 the accident that killed Diana, Princess of Wales. And you'll recall that after the accident, people at Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace left flowers and bears. And when they'd all been cleared away, there were these bears left over that had little inscriptions to Diana on them. And it was felt by the Queen that they couldn't just be, given away or thrown away. And they weren't like the flowers that eventually died. What were we to do with them? And so it was decided that these Diana Memorial Bears should come and live at the Teddy Bear Museum collection. So these are the Diana Memorial Bears. And the joy of this is that it works at all these different levels. You get down in your hunkers here, and suddenly you're in this fantasy world of girls loving bears. In the middle there's a picture of Shirley Temple. And you see the inscription underneath, to the Teddy Bear Museum, best wishes, Shirley Temple Black, 1989. The teddy bear collection has grown over the last 25, 30 years. This bear here is a very old bear, dating from the teens, from the First World War, and it belonged to Dame Barbara Cartland. and she gave a poem to go with the bear. I am a special teddy bear. I'm very particular what I wear. My diamonds gleam like the stars above, as really I am the Prince of Love. This is an historic moment for both Gleeds and indeed for the Teddy Bear Museum collection here at Polka. Would you kindly shake my hand? Richard, you're now shaking the hand that shook the hand that held the paw of Winnie the Pooh.
Magnificent.
It's a bit special, isn't it?
Very special.
Yeah, it's incredible actually.